Meta stopped a controversial method in its Android apps, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, that monitored network port activity on the user's own device. Researchers raised alarms that this could potentially reveal which other apps were running or what local services were active, posing a privacy risk. Meta stated the functionality was for debugging and security and confirmed it was rolled back. What happened? Meta, the company behind Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger, removed a feature from its Android apps that was monitoring network activity on users' own phones. This action followed reports from independent researchers in late 2023 who detailed how this technique could compromise user privacy. The core issue was that Meta's apps were checking for active network ports on the device itself, which could indicate the presence or activity of other apps and services. How did the monitoring technique work? Privacy researchers Tommy Meisk and Talal Hajbakri discovered that Meta's Android apps were sending test messages to localhost, essentially the user's own device, on various network port numbers. Think of network ports as numbered doorways on your device that different apps or services use to communicate. For example, a local web server for testing might use a specific port. If another app or service on the phone was listening on one of these tested ports, it might respond. Meta's apps could detect this response. The concern was that by identifying active local ports, Meta could potentially infer which other apps were running or what local network services were being used by the user on their device. This type of local device monitoring operates differently from website trackers and could reveal aspects of device usage that users might not expect Meta to have insight into. Who raised the alarm? Independent privacy researchers Tommy Misk and Talal Hajbakri first identified and publicized this local port monitoring behavior in November 2023. Technology news outlets quickly picked up the story, amplifying concerns about the privacy implications of this data collection method. These reports highlighted that users were likely unaware their devices were being locally probed in this manner by Meta's apps. Meta's response and current status. In response to the researchers' findings and subsequent media coverage in November 2023, Meta confirmed the existence of this functionality. A Meta spokesperson stated that the connections to localhost were designed for debugging and to help alert users to potential malware on their devices and were not intended to collect data about other apps or services. Meta announced at the time that they were rolling back these changes. This means the feature was intended to be removed. As of mid-2025, the feature is understood to remain rolled back. There has been no widespread public information suggesting similar techniques were used on iOS devices for this purpose. Why was this a concern for users? Privacy intrusion. Users were generally unaware that Meta's apps were checking local port activity on their devices, which could map out other active apps or services. Inferring behavior. While not directly tracking external websites, knowing which local apps or services are active could allow inferences about user behavior, interests, or even technical setups. Lack of explicit consent. Critics argued that users had not provided specific, informed consent for this type of local device probing. Potential for misuse. Even if intended for benign purposes, the capability to gather such information raised concerns about how it could potentially be used or expanded in the future. What are the implications? Increased scrutiny. This incident added to existing scrutiny of data collection practices by large tech companies. User trust.
Revelations about unexpected data gathering methods can impact user trust in the platforms they use daily. Call for transparency. It underscored the ongoing need for clearer explanations from tech companies about what data they collect and how. Platform security discussions. The findings also sparked discussions about the extent to which mobile operating systems like Android should allow apps to probe local network activity.
What can users do? Stay informed. Keep up with news from reputable tech journalists and privacy researchers regarding app behaviors. Review app permissions. While this specific technique might not have a direct permission toggle, regularly reviewing what permissions apps have is good practice. Use privacy-focused tools. Consider reputable mobile security apps that may offer insights into network activity, if concerned. Advocate for privacy. Support organizations working towards stronger data protection and digital privacy rights.
State of Affairs, June 2025. Meta rolled back the controversial local port monitoring feature in its Android apps in late 2023 following the researchers' disclosures. There have been no widespread reports indicating the re-implementation of this specific technique by Meta. Privacy researchers and watchdog groups continue to monitor app behaviors for potential privacy risks. The incident serves as a reminder of the complex ways apps can interact with device resources and the importance of ongoing vigilance.